Hi, everyone. I'm Christine Shupla. I'm the Education and Public Engagement Manager at the Lunar and Planetary Institute.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sherelle Webb. I am the Public Engagement Lead at the Lunar and Planetary Institute.
My name is Penelope Shoemaker. I'm the metadata librarian at the State Library of Ohio. We want to make them feel important and that we are realize that we're doing the program with them. They're not just passively receiving information right now, especially even before the pandemic. There's tons of videos and there's lots of things that can be streamed, right? And that's a very passive activity. But if you're trying to do an online virtual program, you want to keep everyone engaged early on.
That means that we have to just be creative. Be creative with our execution of the demonstration or activity.
Some of my favorite things are trying to get our patrons engaged very early. And some of the ways to do that are things like polls. You can put in together a Zoom poll and ask people one question, and then that makes them feel engaged. Another one that I really enjoy is called a chat store. And so what you do is you have everyone write down their answer at the same time in the chat box of Zoom or whatever program you're using, and then have them hit enter at the same time. So everyone's answer will populate at the same time, and then that gives everyone an opportunity to answer without seeing everyone else's, and then it sort of all gets shared together, and you can pick out a few specific answers to read, and it makes everyone feel equally important.
Well, one of the techniques and strategies that we've using is to have host families. So by having a host family, which means that a family that's a part or in the audience, you will promote them as a panelist if you're doing a webinar. You will have a host family, and so this family gets the opportunity to engage with the speaker and engage with the facilitator slash scientist.
So if you have enough facilitators to have, you don't really want to send patrons into breakout rooms alone, but if you had 4 or 5 librarians and you had 4 or 5 breakout rooms, you could break into smaller groups and all discuss in a smaller environment. And that's another way to make them feel like it's engaging and personal.
We have found that successful virtual programs is a team of people in the background. So if it's one person that's doing the welcome and introduction, then it may be someone else that's going to perform the demonstration, and then there may be someone else that shares the screen.
Some libraries are using this opportunity to bring in special speakers to help participate in the programs. So bringing in for an Earth or a space science STEAM program, they could invite a NASA astronomer to join and have that astronomer help to answer questions and help to participate in the activity. And not just giving a talk, but actually having somebody there who's an expert in this topic addressing issues as they come up.
Yeah, absolutely. So, having them to share like their personal photos, I mean, talking about personal photos with them doing field research, that has definitely engaged the audience more because it's not showing still photos, but then actual footage of what they're doing in the field. And so that has created a different level of excitement for the virtual program.
Invite a few different NASA scientists and then have them in different rooms, and then have all the participants go to the rooms and talk to the facilitator that way.
Activity, it needs to be an activity that can be captured on one screen or one frame, and as well as you can get all of your material that the participants can see your material, and it can be done within a small time frame.
Anything that we can do with to engage them at home. Like if you're doing an activity that only has a few things from the kitchen, you could have a 2-second or 2-minute opportunity to bring and say, this is what we're using for our demonstration, if you want to go grab it and try to follow along at home, that is another form of engagement, but maybe not complicated or hard to find materials, and which a lot of the NASA at My Library are actually things we can all find in our house. So we can encourage people to go grab their balloons or their food coloring or whatever they need, and they can sort of follow along at home.
The expanding universe is a demonstration that can be used to demonstrate our universe expanding, which is nice to accompany astronomy topics such as the James Webb Space Telescope launch. So this activity really only needs a couple of things. You need a camera, you need a balloon, and you need a marker. Stickers are also very nice and preferred as well for this. So Penelope, you suggested that you wanted to get them involved in early. Can either of you think of a potential question that you might want to ask at the beginning of a program about the expanding universe?
You could ask about a favorite planet. I mean, most of us do have a favorite planet or, dwarf planet. Many of us still love Pluto. So, and that again doesn't have a right or wrong answer. And many people would be able to name at least one planet. So,
For this activity, I would also want them to start thinking about galaxies. The point that we want to make with this demonstration is that the galaxies are moving apart. And so this activity with the balloon is demonstrating this relationship, the fact that the further away a galaxy is, the faster it's moving away from us. You ask them to start off with the balloon that's uninflated, and you're going to put some stickers on it. And each sticker is going to represent a different galaxy in our universe. And the balloon is going to represent the universe. And what you can also do, if you want to, you don't have to, between the stickers, you might draw some squiggly lines. And those squiggly lines are going to represent light. And then as you start to inflate it, show it to the camera and see, have the stickers moved apart? And how much have they moved apart? And let all of the patrons respond. Yes, they can see how much they've moved apart.
one thing libraries could do is after they've viewed this virtual program, they can invite patrons in and perhaps have some book collections. Sometimes libraries have like specific, like sort of grab bags already put together. So you could have a few grab bags on the universe for different grade levels, because a virtual program is going to bring in people of all different grade levels, and they can come in and check out a few grab bags of resources so they can explore more on their own.